This week on Uncut Gems with Slim. A lot of times when creators might stop creating content, it can come from creator's block, it can come from a change of passion, or just different things in life becoming a priority over creating content. And that's pretty much what happened for me. Hey guys, welcome back for season 2 of Uncut Gems with Slim. When I tell you it's been a minute, it's been almost a long periodically time, but we are here today. And this season we are talking about real life creators and what all actually happens in the life of a creator. On Instagram, you see the glitz, you see the glam, you see the black girl luxury, but what does it actually look like to be a creator in 2022? And I am here to talk about all the different things that I've experienced as a creator with you today. So for episode 1, we are talking about a topic that has recently kind of been a thing for me, which is when creators go ghost. And let me just back up and share with you guys a little bit about my journey on YouTube, on social media, and this whole being a content creator. So in high school, I've always been like a creative, and I used to make the little football t-shirts for, the girls supporting their boyfriends at football games and all those kind of things. And I started selling those t-shirts. So I kind of was an entrepreneur from a young age. And in college, I started my YouTube channel. At the time, YouTube wasn't a thing that you started to make money. It was just a way for me to share with people how to do their makeup. And I taught myself how to do it. So if I could give any advice to help other people, then that's what I decided to do. So I took my talents to YouTube, and one of my videos, I actually did a brand deal with a brand, and it was literally in exchange for product. And I know that is like kryptonite words these days, but it was in exchange for product, and I actually hit 100,000 views on that video a little bit out of nowhere, and that's how my claim to fame on YouTube started. Real quick, I just wanted to take a moment and pause and ask, are you subscribed? Make sure you subscribe to us on all podcast streaming platforms and check out the visual on YouTube at Uncut Gems with Slim. Lastly, don't forget we are also on Instagram. Follow us on Insta to get motivational snippets, episode highlights, and so much more. Now, let's get back to today's episode. And so after that, I pretty much just continued to spread my content on Instagram, and then, TikTok has come around recently, so I'm trying to, get into that platform as well. But all this time, I've built up my brand to now have a significant following on YouTube and all those things. With that comes expectations. It comes when you're used to getting a certain amount of views, when that roller coaster of being a real life creative happens where your views go down or engagement isn't the same on a sponsor post versus organic content, that just kind of takes a hit, and you get a little bit discouraged in those times. And so with me kind of sharing with you guys my journey of how I got to where I am today, now having a podcast. I launched the podcast about 2 years ago. In the first year, we did weekly episodes every week, encouraging you guys. And it was just life hacks, tips and tricks that I learned throughout my life, my 26 years, almost 27 years of life. And then we started doing seasons. The first season went really well, and it was just talking about just who you are, growing who you are as a person. So this season, we're talking about real life creators. So like I said, when creators go ghost, you may have noticed the podcast hasn't been out for a minute, and my YouTube channel hasn't been as consistent as it usually is. But that comes from, life happens. And so a lot of times when creators might stop creating content, it can come from creator's block, it can come from a change of passion, or just different things in life becoming a priority over creating content, and that's pretty much what happened for me. So if you've watched my main YouTube channel, Slim Reshae, you've probably seen my life update where I kind of share with you guys a couple of different things that have happened to me over the past maybe 6 or 7 months. I closed on my first home, which I'm filming in right now, which is super exciting. And then I joined a sorority, and I've been involved at my church, and it's just been a lot of different things. We're understaffed at work, so it's just like trying to balance all of those things. Creating content wasn't like a top priority for me at the time, because if you can't have your day-to-day life in balance, it's hard to just be present on social media. And usually I want to give like the best that I can give to you guys, where I'm not like half doing it, because you guys deserve for me to show up for you as well. So that's why I kind of took an unofficial break / went ghost. But now I'm super excited to be back at it, because what I learned is my yes is important for you all. So without doing the things that without doing things and saying yes, like creating a podcast or creating a makeup tutorial that might help someone who has low self-esteem, like if I don't do that, then that limits me from allowing someone else to be free, or allowing someone else to like build their confidence because they watched a tutorial of mine. So it's so important to like make the decision to keep going. And one thing I wanted to talk about today, or this week's gem, is basically that your direction is more important than your speed. As long as you're moving forward, you don't have to be super concerned about not moving fast. As long as you're taking a step in the right direction, like you're doing well, you are making progress, and that's all that really matters. One thing I wanted to share with you guys is how to get back at it after taking a break. So for me specifically, experiencing taking a break from social media, or just being content with not posting or not having to put everything on social media, that has allowed me to, one, not get discouraged when it comes to like, if you don't know, on YouTube, if you're not getting views or you're not putting out content, then the less you put out, the less views you get, the less money you make. So it can be hard to be content with not showing up on social media if you're in it for the money, or you're in it for notoriety or certain things. So I want you guys to make sure, like, if you're creating content, that you're passionate about it and you're not just doing it for other people, because you'll never be content fully if you're just doing it for other people, doing it for the money. Because when that stuff goes away, then you won't have a leg to stand on. Like, you won't be pushed to keep going, and it takes that push, that passion to keep going in times like this. So for me, like, initially I was a little bit discouraged, because, you know, when the money fall, the views fall, you get like you feel discouraged. It's a part of being a creator. But the thing that keeps me from staying in that discouraged state is to like just keep going. I'm passionate about it. I know that my content is impactful, no matter if one person views it. If one person views this video and it changes their perspective or changes their life, that's why I do this. And so I wanted to share with you guys like 3 main ways that you can get back on track after taking a break or going MIA, or just, you know, whatever you're going through. These are 3 things that I wrote down to get back on track. So one is to find inspiration. I tell you guys all the time, I will go back and look at some of my old content, and it'll help me get inspired, because then I'll realize, you know, you've made great content before, and if you did it before, you could do it again, in the words of Ty Tribbett. But like, I literally will go back and watch old YouTube videos, and it'll inspire me because I'll think about the times when I interned in New York. I was filming in my intern house with a blanket on the wall as a backdrop, and I would get so excited when my video would get 10 views. And so like you have to be encouraged by like where you started, and you have to think about it. Nowadays, you feel once you have success or get high engagement on Instagram and then it goes away or seemingly goes away because you're used to a certain number of likes or followers, like you have to realize, think about it, if you get 50 likes or 150 likes, if you get 150 likes on a picture, imagine if there were 150 people in a room supporting you. That's literally a lot of people. So don't get discouraged by a low number of likes or a low number of followers. As long as you're impacting someone, that's the biggest thing for me, is making sure you're impacting people with the work that you're putting out. The second thing is to allocate time. So in my little hiatus, I guess you can call it, I would validate my rest a little bit too much. And so rest is important and things like that, but you also have to be disciplined to make sure that you're taking time out to do the things that are important to you or do the things that will push your content or your career forward. And for me, I had to realize, if I want to sit down and just lollygag all the time, like it's not gonna get done. If I want to take a nap every time my eyes get a little heavy, like the things are not gonna get done. So I have to allocate time to edit, to create description boxes, like everything that goes into creating content. I had to intentionally set aside and allocate time to do that. So make sure you're fitting in time in your schedule to do the things that you're passionate about to move your vision forward. And last but not least, I have to execute. So a lot of people will tell you, like, if you're interested in starting a YouTube video or a brand or anything, like all you have to do is just start. And not only start, but just execute the things that you have in front of you. Like I said, progress in the right direction. Anything steps in the right direction is progress or moving forward. It doesn't matter like how small that step is or how fast you're running, like as long as you're moving forward, that's the goal. And along with executing, just starting, just making that post, just making that reel, just making that TikTok, you also may have to like ignore the initial like results, like the engagement that you get on that initial post. Like you might be super passionate, like, oh my gosh, this reel is about to be bomb.com. This is viral worthy content. And then you post it and it gets 100 likes, or you feel like you shadow banned or something like that. But you can't be discouraged by the results you see, because then you'll never reach your full potential when you're putting out content if you base it off of the results that you get. Because you might have A1, Grammy worthy content, but your description box might not be putting it out, or the algorithm might not be putting it out to the right people that need to hear and see your content. So just make sure you guys do those 3 things. If you've taken a break and you need inspiration to get back at it, make sure you find that inspiration, look back at your old content, look back at, or take a look at some people's content that inspires you, or creators who just give you a great view of what you're trying to do, or those kind of virtual mentors, if you will, and then allocate that time and make sure you execute. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of season 2 of Uncut Gems with Slim, When Creators Go Ghost. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section below, or find me on Instagram. I'll put all my information on the screen so you guys can find me. But make sure you check us out, and until next week.